This version 7 of the OrthoWave academic software suite. You are entering the user section. Please enter your login and password. The home page of this user section includes the main features of the software, i.e. patients, the integrated statistical tool, the catalog of images connected to the files, the data import and export functions, and the software usage tools. Let's address the management for a new patient. The Demographics tab groups the patient's personal data, lists the history, with overall notes, keyword grouping and upcoming visits. Please note the importance of providing a valid email address for the patient. The patient's consent must be obtained in advance for the inclusion of their data in the scientific studies file, as well as formal consent to be contacted by sending emails, according to GDPR recommendations. We arrive at the patient window grouping several tabs. First demographic status, then surgical joint, then images, and in some cases a patient-specific tab. The demographic form can be modified at any time. The surgical joint tab lists the different surgical sites for the right or left hip and knee, in primary or revision. Finally, the patient's image catalog is displayed on the left, allowing a full-screen display or any slideshow. To create a new arthroplasty, scroll down the New Prosthesis list with the choice of an initial operation or a revision of existing prostheses, partial or total. To access one or the other of the arthroplasties, click on one of the intervention dates displayed.
The navigation bar of this window allows you to display the different functionalities offered by the program. Below this navigation bar, to the right of the Arthroplasty tab, are the different functions available for the arthroplasty displayed, including clinical evaluations. This window provides an overview of the characteristics of the displayed prosthesis, i.e. date of surgery, etiology, medical team, prosthetic components. Archiving is a key piece of data for the automatic integration of this prosthesis into the survival curves in the statistical module. In the event of complications, it is essential to define them according to the occurrence, according to the type of revision, and add the corresponding keywords using the drop-down lists, without forgetting the essential notes for clinical reports and publications. It remains to indicate any keyword characteristic of this arthroplasty, according to the predefined list in the Administrator section. The images connected to this arthroplasty are displayed on the left of the window, while the general notes in free text also allow you to document the displayed prosthesis.
Surgical details window begins with the global report, with the operative details, most of which can be pre-selected in configurable default values. It will be enough to complete the few specific values of the operative report as well as the additional procedures and notes. The additional details window is dedicated to complex cases and revisions, also including illustrations for the different grades of lesions such as the Paprosky stages or others for the femur and acetabulum. Anatomical lesion mapping is valuable both for preoperative assessment and for statistics, by allowing to locate areas of bone defects, bone quality or presence of material. The same is true for treatment mapping, to locate the addition of bone grafts or bone support reinforcement materials. It is useful to be able to add notes or comments. The notification of the codes of the different components by manual reading or by scanner is carried out according to the different suppliers of prostheses. Linking images to clinical data is a major asset of OrthoWave. Adding any image or X-ray is simple. Just select the file to import and define its characteristics and obtain the postoperative time of the image concerned, with or without keywords or notes. The row of buttons at the bottom right of the window lists the possible actions for each image: modifications, clinical data, actual size, slideshow, lossless export, deletion. Picked In is an image processing module integrated into OrthoWave. Simply select an image to modify it. The Picked In button at the bottom left of the window allows you to directly open the Picked In processing window. All actions on the displayed image are possible, such as selecting areas of interest, choosing colors, adding texts, geometric figures, locating the center of circles, calculating angles and distances by scaling the image, also inserting other images or comments. At the end of processing, the image obtained can be added to the catalog of initial images. The clinical hip and knee assessments are the basis of all scientific work, with the different results obtained for the different validated scores that are used at the choice of each user in OrthoWave, including the radiological parameters. Each of these scores has the same input characteristics. Let's take the example of the Harris hip score. The calculations are displayed as they are entered using the drop-down lists or via the time-saving shortcuts for new data entries, to obtain a result displayed at the choice of the period considered, with a summary table and explanatory notes. PROMS-type questionnaires such as Oxford or OWOS-10 can be documented directly or via the automatic sending of emails completed in real time by the patients concerned and included in the clinical records without intervention from the surgeon, except in the event of a problem, complication, or special request. The ability to directly map radiographic parameters of the hip or knee with real-time link to the statistical module remains a major asset for OrthoWave. Another major feature of OrthoWave is that it allows the user to directly integrate, twice, 100 hip and knee records in the form of 5 tabs of 10 quantitative or qualitative variables. The Documents tab allows you to configure any type of document such as discharge report, surgical report, or others using the built-in text editor, and to generate a Word document containing the characteristics specific to each clinical record, with possible integration of all the application variables. It is also possible to directly include any type of text file, PDF, videos, PowerPoint, or other. The next tab is optional and demonstrates the possibility, as in this example with the NJR, to link OrthoWave to any existing registry for direct sending to the connected database. Let's now look at the various other tabs. Firstly, the multi-criteria search, which allows you to list and display any combination of the database parameters. The integrated statistical tool StatWave delivers for the hip or knee, with or without multi-criteria selection, all the statistical tests allowing any study, including mapping of radiographic parameters, bone lesions and treatments, and this for the hip or knee. For example, descriptive statistics allow you to choose any variable from the database, with or without selection, to obtain, according to the desired limits and periods, the graph and the results, which can be stored in an integrated text file. This file can be downloaded at any time for the current edition of the study. Cross-correlations and group comparisons calculate the appropriate statistical tests. For survival curves, the different endpoints are optional, with or without selection, either revision for any cause or prosthetic failure to obtain the graph for a series or comparison of 2 cohorts. The mapping of radiological parameters displays for the different types of implants the different percentages according to the radiographic zones. The same applies to lesions and treatments. The Call Image tab allows you to display a selection or the entire catalog of images directly connected to the corresponding clinical records, with the various classic buttons for viewing, full screen display, export, or deletion. Direct import of patients' demographic status spreadsheets is possible, as is the export of variable selections or assessments at different periods of different scores of the study, for the hip or the knee. The automatic sending of emails for reconvening or others is carried out from the text models of the database, the selection of recipients, and the final choice of patients to contact. The connected patient is a key feature. After selecting the recipients, simply choose the questionnaires to be associated with the sending, with the choice of 5 questionnaires individually or grouped together. All application sheets can be downloaded in Word format. The choice of default values for all surgical parameters is possible for hip and knee.